In today's video, I'll be going for the Big Helmet Heroes Platinum Trophy, and let me tell you this, I had a horrendous time.
No.
The game is fantastic for what it is, a 3D Castle Crashers like beat 'em up with a ton of different heroes to choose from, once you've unlocked them that is. The reason why I had a horrendous time is because there are a ton of bugs and glitches, and not the good kind. Skippable cutscenes that cannot be skipped, lava that deals no damage and leaves you out of bounds with no way back to the action, amongst a fair few others reported by other players. Even with that, I did persist with the goal of earning the Platinum Trophy, and here's how I earned the 4 bronze, 9 silver and 7 gold trophies which got me there. So the first step was to simply complete the story on hard difficulty, which isn't too difficult in my opinion, but there were a few moments where things got a little bit tense. There is 20 levels in total, including the tutorial, in which there were 2 trophies, one for failing said tutorial, and one for completing it. Out of the other 19 levels, there was a lot of rinse and repeat. Run through, beat up enemies, use all different types of weapons and abilities, just in different scenery. But there were a couple where there would be something unique added to the mix, just to try and keep things fresh. In each level, I found caged heroes that I could use during that level and then select them for use on any future levels thereafter. 29 heroes total, 36 cages scattered throughout. As you probably guessed, that will be for a trophy later on. Also, a number of levels contain random sheep scattered around. After interacting with each sheep individually, they'll drop flower petals, and both of those are tied to trophies too, but we'll come back to that later as well. As for the story, it's simply save the princess. But the princess doesn't want to be saved. But the princess is the final boss. But you kind of get the idea. During the second level, after running through the countless amounts of enemies and bomber buddies, we face off against a mechanical fire dragon while the princess is being held captive. Once defeated, the princess shows her true intentions and dips. But we do, however, get the trophy for saving her ass at least. By the time I'd got to the 5th level, and without really making a conscious effort to get this one so early, I got the trophy Rage Room for breaking 404 breakable objects. We fight through more levels until we come face to face with a mechanical landfish that shoots out bombs. Weirdly, most levels do not have any bosses, so when I defeated this thing, I was surprised when no trophy popped. Speaking of bosses with no trophies, this one had one, but I'll be back to deal with that later. I probably should have checked the trophy list before playing. A couple of levels later, we finally get another trophy. Remember the flower petals that I mentioned earlier? Well, these can drop from defeated enemies, and between that and the sheep, we'd collected 1,969 sets of petals for the trophy, Flower Power. Just a few fights later, while acknowledging a slight power spike, I managed to defeat the 300th enemy while using funny weapons. Considering that I'd already got the Flowers trophy and Funny Weapons trophy, it was no surprise that just a couple of levels later we ticked 2 more off the list. We petted our 54th sheep, which netted us the Petting Farm trophy, and then defeated our 1337th enemy for the trophy Armageddon. And then here is where I was ready to throw in the towel. I turned the game off twice before coming back to it a day later to successfully reattempt the boss. During the 13th level, we come face to face with the princess, operating a mechanical scorpion that spits out fireballs, which breaks away the floor. Underneath is lava. If I fall down there, I'm dead. Oh, hello? How do I get back up from here?
Emotional damage!
This happened a couple of times, because I'm not an elite gamer and my dodge reflexes are similar to a drunken man on the streets of Manchester. We did, however, learn to keep our distance and did defeat the scorpion eventually, and once again I was a little peed off that there was no trophy. Now just for context, that was the 13th level. It wasn't until the final level, level 20, that I earned the next trophy. Well, 2 trophies. Each level design changed, but for the most part it was same old, same old. However, the 20th mission is basically just the final boss. I wish I could say I was a Chad and beat the princess first time, but I'd be lying. I didn't know at the time of playing, but once I got defeated, it asked me to use flowers. I'm not sure why or how many I needed, but I used some and got my 4-man squad back, then proceeded to die again. With a little more knowledge of how the boss worked, her switching between weapons and using different combos etc, I managed to finally defeat the princess with the 4-man squad, barely hanging on, and we got the trophies for completing the game and completing each of the levels on hard difficulty. With the hard trophy out the way, it was time to relax, bang the game onto easy difficulty and clean up, starting with finishing a level without taking any damage. But I suppose difficulty wouldn't have really mattered for this one. I then tackled the final boss once again, but instead of getting beat and using flowers for the squad to roll up, I made it through both phases of the battle with just one hero. This gave us a different ending cutscene and also the trophy Heroic End. A 100 hit combo was the next thing I went for, and with the game now on easy, it was just that. We then went back to a much earlier level, where we found a sword in the stone, and carry it until the end of the level. Remember the tentacle boss I mentioned earlier? Here I had to shoot the cannons past the tentacles to hit the big cardboard box in the back. This reveals a rubber duck, which the tentacle monster falls in love with, and with this we get the trophy Love at First Sight. The next couple of trophies were both combat related, and both came within the space of a couple of waves of fighting. First, I got my 777th superpower kill for the trophy Rainbow Rush Addict, before then throwing our 300th enemy and getting the trophy
This is Sparta!
I then went through all remaining levels where I'd missed some of the hero cages. 36 out of 36 for the trophy Cage Master. This left me with 2 trophies left, both local co-op related. As I'm a loner, I plugged in a second controller and struggled my way through the tutorial, just so I could kill player 2 with a crossbow. While still in co-op, I then finished the level to earn myself the trophy Hero and the Platinum Trophy. Whoop whoop! And then I turned the game off and I'm never going to play it again.